Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I didn't really want to read any more on the bad news, the disgusting news about Jeffrey Epstein, but so many people have asked me, what's the connection between Jeffrey and Meghan Markle? It's interesting. I think to myself, nobody thinks, is there a connection between Meghan and Epstein? No, it's what's the connection. I thought that was kind of interesting. Let's find out. Is there, and what is the connection between Meghan Markle and Jeffrey Epstein? Was Jeffrey Epstein the person? Remember 2 years ago, I did that reading about that girl in Texas who said she was approached to be paid to be Harry's wife and, you know, have a handler and everything. And she said no. And the minute she saw, and she was mixed race and an actress in like small parts or whatever. And so I did the cards to ask, is her story true? And the answer was yes. And she said the minute she saw Meghan Markle with Harry, she knew Meghan Markle was hired to marry Harry to get into the royal family. Now, isn't this all making sense? This is all coming around now. That, yes, they have been trying to infiltrate the royal family. They tried with Andrew, they tried with Sarah, they tried with the princesses, but obviously they never really got to the top. They never were able to topple the monarchy. Let's find out. Let's find out. What is the connection between Jeffrey Epstein and Meghan Markle, if any? Now, you guys know me. I read the cards right. If there's no connection there, I'll tell you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything or read into the cards what I think should be there. I promise you that. And I've got so many other tarot card readers watching me. I couldn't if I wanted to. All right, shall we begin? Meghan Markle and Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. So, Page of Pentacles, trying to sell us something, trying to sell us this, you know, poor girl from a poor family, in love with the young prince. So were we sold a story? Ooh, look at this, 2 pages. So here's the pregnancy. You can't make this up. And here's the good news. The royal family is going to modernize. Here's messages coming in. Look at this. Look at the pretty girl I got. And she's an actress. And look at how, you know, she's a humanitarian. And she really loves me. And oh, whoops, we're pregnant. We've read that too. That's how she got the wedding moved up. Look at another page. Look at all the messages coming and going. And finally, she got the ring. Here's the wedding announcement. Look at that, how that has, you know, here's the presentation of Meghan Markle. Here's the pregnancy. Here's the wedding announcement. Let's see what follows. Oh, you cannot make this up. Wow. You saw me shuffle. Like even AI couldn't make this up if it tried. King of Cups, the king. They were always after the king. Look at it. It's right there. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's right there. She was definitely sent as a sales, as sent. And there's the announcement. And it was to destroy Charles. And Harry. Hapless Harry. Remember my video, Thicko? Boy, they got the low-hanging fruit there. Look at that. Guess what, Harry? I'm pregnant even though I can't get pregnant. All right. Let's go tell Granny. There he is. Oh my God, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. direct hit on Harry. There's the announcement. Harry's getting married. Harry's no longer a bachelor. The Knight of Pentacles is a bachelor. There's the wedding announcement. Queen of Swords. There's the Queen, because demanding the wedding because she's pregnant and allowing the wedding. There's the contract. Queen of Swords is legal contracts. There's the contract. There's your bonus. You nailed them. There's your bonus. 2 children. And now you get to be Diana 2.0. Isn't that funny? I never read these cards upside down, and that one came upside down. The gaslighting, the illusion, the confusion, the drug use. 7 of Cups is drug use, and in reverse, it's not good drugs. There's the struggle. Queen of Wands. Strength. There's Meghan. But you know what? Here comes Megxit. And that's when it all started to fall apart. Once they left the royal family. Once they were kicked out and they had to leave, that's when it started to kind of fall apart. That she was no longer useful. Defending. Ace of Cups. The Devil. We knew we would get to that. And then the 2 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. Okay. This was, what was her role with Jeffrey? That was our original question. She was definitely sent. Definitely sent by, there's the announcer. There's all the 3. You cannot make this up. And it was to bring down the royal family, especially Charles. Charles was the target. Charles was the target. They probably thought the Queen was untouchable. Absolutely untouchable. Charles, however, has a wife who may or may not be happy with him. Has we have the Diana card on the table. I'm going to tell you right now, she was definitely working with Jeffrey Epstein or his ilk. She was wolf in a sheep in wolf clothing. There she is. Defending, you know, Oliver. Devil ways. I'm not getting that she was in any kind of relation with Jeffrey, because we asked about that too. I'm getting that she was definitely paid and sent by Jeffrey. Couldn't be clearer. Contract. She definitely had a contract. She was to go after Harry. She got Harry. Perhaps, let's ask the question, did Andrew help her to get Harry? And I think we've asked that before. Remember, like all this, the looks they gave each other and her pretending she didn't know Andrew. And this whole time she knew exactly who Andrew was. So why did Jeffrey send Meghan Markle? You know, it's very interesting because Harry's choice of girls were blondes. So why did they send Meghan Markle? Maybe something to do with her roasted chicken. I don't know. But there she is. She was a wolf in sheep's clothing. She knew her assignment, but she didn't do it very well because they left. And that wasn't part of the deal. She had to stay there to pull them down. There she is right there. Pull the royalty down. But she walked away and created an issue. So there goes the contract. So perhaps the contract was never with Netflix at all. Perhaps most of the contract was through Jeffrey Epstein. And perhaps that's the anonymous amount that was donated to Archwell. Thank you very much for watching. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.